We need food for survival. We need food to perform. We need food to train. And if we don't get enough food, we are going to bonk. Nutrient timing is critical. At what time you have what kind of foods is important. Insulin. It is an extremely powerful hormone that is produced in your own body. This hormone can either make you fat or it can make you more stronger, more muscular. When you eat food, carbs are broken down into glucose. Glucose is nothing but sugar in your blood. As the blood sugar increases, it triggers insulin, which the goal of insulin is to bring the sugar levels in your blood back to normal, which means it's going to take the extra sugar in your system and start to rush it towards available cells where it can get the extra sugar out of the system and into the cells. Depending on what cells are receptive, what cells are responding to insulin, that's where the sugar will be dumped, along with the vitamins and minerals that were in the meal. Blood sugar goes back to normal after this process. How much insulin is released? That depends on a lot of factors, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to keep our discussion limited to these 2 points. Point number 1, how much glycemic index your food has or the glycemic load, how fast the sugar goes into your system, glycemic index, or how much sugar is available in the food, glycemic load. What that means in layman language is table sugar or honey has a high glycemic index, which means even a teaspoon or 1 tablespoon can be enough to spike your insulin. Oats, even though it's healthy, lower glycemic index, if you have a ton of oats in one serving, it is going to give almost the same effect as a high glycemic index food. So portion sizes matter. If you're eating high glycemic index foods or a ton of carbs all throughout the day, all the time, insulin spike is going to be very, very high. If we keep doing this all throughout the day, 4 to 5 meals, 6 meals for example, and in every meal the insulin spike is high, it's not efficient, what's going to happen is eventually you're going to be insulin resistant, which is nothing but diabetes. You want to stay as insulin sensitive as possible. Now, post-workout is an extremely good time to have high glycemic index foods along with protein. After a workout, your muscle cells are most receptive. Fat cells are not able to really multitask at that point in time, as in they're releasing fat, so they're not really ready for any absorption. So at that point in time, if you spike the insulin, guess where all the protein is going to be piggybacked and delivered to? Your available cells, muscle cells. And this is a good opportunity, good time for you to have those high glycemic index foods that can really help trigger insulin at a time when your muscles are most receptive. My recommendation at this point in time would be not just look at your calories, not just look at your macronutrients, but also look at the glycemic index of the foods, the glycemic load of the foods, and see if that's something you need to adjust. Instead of adjusting your calories, look at the quality of your foods before you get into quantity. Insulin triggered at the wrong time, it's going to make you more fat. Triggered at the right time, it's going to be anabolic. When you work out, when you lift, when you exercise, your muscle cells are more receptive anyways. The more muscle you have in your body, the more better you're able to break down carbohydrates. Because your body is more sensitive to insulin and your muscle cells are more receptive, reducing your calories may not be the best answer. Perhaps looking into this concept might help you.